I've already made a post on the channel about this, but you know what? A fid needs made. Finesse at Pro W Finesse on Twitter turned round and said earlier on, Sami Zayn doesn't need a character change or a heel turn. He doesn't need a gimmick or a poxy makeover. The only thing he needs to be is just Sami Zayn, one of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it. I mean, let's just look at this guy, man, right? Fat, flabby, wears a hoodie to the ring that's open. He's got a big, massive ginger beard. His hair is all greasy. He looks like a nerd. He's got no physique, no nothing. He's crap, right? And I've been watching a lot of WCW recently. Let's actually just look at WCW, folks, right? I mean, look at these events. Look at these events. Bash at the Beach 1995. Hogan versus Vader. Savage versus Flair. WCW Road Wild 98, right? NWO Invitational Battle Royal. Look at that, man. Nash, Hall, The Giant, Goldberg. You get Sting in there, right? Road Wild 99. Randy Savage versus Dennis Rodman. Full episode of Thunder. Bret Hart calls out Goldberg. Sting versus Vampiro. New Blood Rising. Nash versus Goldberg versus Steiner. Hollywood Hogan versus Lex Luger. What a match. Hogan and Rodman versus Luger and the Giant. Mysterio versus Six. I mean, that's a full episode of Nitro, folks. Get it watched. You won't be disappointed. I mean, just look at this. Harlem Heat versus Scott Hall and Six. Goldberg versus Kurt Hennig. WCW title match in 98. Sting surprises Bischoff. Steiner's versus Mongo and Jarrett. It's just so good, man. The Giant versus Hollywood Hogan at Hog Wild 1996. Flair versus Hogan 94. That's Hogan's WCW debut. Sting and British Bulldog versus Vader and Sid Vicious. All these I mean, look at this, man. Bischoff calls out Sting. Malenko versus Mongo. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall. Bash at the Beach 2000. Goldberg, Nash. Booker T, Jarrett. Mean Gene in action. Sting and the Cat versus Vampiro and Muta. You hover over it. Look at this. Look at this. Damn it. Look at look at Vader versus Hogan. WCW title steel cage match. Just look at the thumbnails, man, right? Look at the stars plastered all over this. Hogan, Sting, Hall, Nash, Steiner, Booker T, right? All these guys, the Goldberg, man, Big Show, Lex Luger. All these guys, man, right? And then just look at this guy. Look at your average fucking jabroni. So we're gonna, I mean, I don't even need to decipher whether or not Sami Zayn's the greatest wrestler. Because, I mean, I've literally put up on the channel. He's not even in the top 1,000, right? And he's not. He's fucking not. There is a million guys better than this guy in the wrestling business. You know what I mean? Now, maybe actually, we might not even have the numbers right for that, but the fact of the matter is, Sami Zayn sucks. I mean, the guy's been in WWE well over a decade, it feels like, at this point. And before that, he was on the indies for years. Guy's been wrestling for over 20 years and amounted to hee-haw. Has the guy delivered a couple of funny segments? I'm not going to lie and say he hasn't. Yeah, he has, but I mean, this guy being treated as like a serious contender and going for his underdog character at points as well. It's just fucking tragic, man, it is. But let's see what the comments are saying. I mean, honestly, crap. One of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it. You know what I mean? One of the greatest. See, to be like one of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it, man, I think you need to be like top 25 or like top 50 or something, right? No. It just, nah. I'm not having this. Let's look at the comments. Husband and wife, he really doesn't. He's had the same gimmick since he joined the WWE, and it's like people just don't like the character. He has wanted him to be a bad guy. They want him to do bad things like, I mean, that's just, he just fucking sucks. What's this person said? We really just be throwing at the term one of the greatest for anybody, huh? 2 replies. See, this is like saying he is. Facts. This is my first thought. Oh, a lot of people bashing Sami Zayn. I'm liking it. So you speak on behalf of every wrestling fan now. You ain't the fan of the voiceless, pal. Say, for all the hating ass people that want Sami to change, why? I don't want him to change. I want him fucking released. As Cora says, or be released. Travi Patty. But they aren't a wrestling company. Capone 7, fact, but I would love him to turn heel on Jay. They both don't have any long-term storyline. This feud will feed generations. This feud will feed generations. See when they we eating good tonight. Oh, Oh, we've got Jey Uso taking on Akira Tozawa. We eating good. Oh, it's DIY versus Motor City. We eating good tonight. What the fuck? This will feed generation. No, something that feeds generations, right, is Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, right? Shit like that, man. That will feed generations. Not this. Not that. This feud. Kane Undertaker, man. All that shite. Rock Austin. Oh, man. This will feud. This feud will feed Jarrett. That's a mental illness, man. The devil says you're talking absolute shite. Never want to watch that boring virtue signaling bub again in my life. Yes. You're so soft, lol. He's boring as hell. Can I get an amen? No. He's boring and goofy looking. Nobody gives a flying fuck about his boring ass character. Supernacho says, y'all too retarded. He's fucking boring. No one is questioning his ability as a wrestler. His character's just old, stale and annoying. He needs a character change. That's it. I think everyone wants to see him win a world title, but that doesn't mean we want to see him do it as this character. But see this, no one's questioning his ability as a wrestler. I mean, your ability as a wrestler is your character as well. You've got to factor that in. You know, like, his ability as a wrestler's fucking limited. Let's not pretend that Sami Zayn is a Kurt Angle or a Shawn Michaels. He couldn't fucking lace their boots, man. Honestly, man, he's crap. This guy says he could name 100 wrestlers better than what the... You're on crack. How do you think you're on crack, man? Fucking saying that. What? I could probably name 50 active wrestlers alone that are better than him. Yeah, I mean, active. That's a key word. They're active. Mine don't fucking factor in the past. Gunther's chop. People who hit Sami Zayn and think Logan Paul is good wrestler. They nipples. Yo, Logan Paul is a good wrestler, and he is fucking better than Sami Zayn. Just doesn't really understand the business, but he understands a lot of it from like an in-ring perspective, but when you hear how he carries himself outside of it, then none of them do. So yeah, I think he's going to get booed at the building Monday night. Sami is basically 2019 Seth Rollins right now. Super Switch disagrees, one of my favourites too, but we can all see his character makes him look stupid. He's not an underdog, he's a real threat, so he should act like one. Alcart's fate, I agree with everything except for the last statement. He isn't among the best ever. He's really good at what he does. One of the best sellers working today, and given that is increasingly becoming a lost art, that becomes more special. Yo, see if you want to say Sami Zayn's great, right, and he's really good in today's like wrestling business, that's one thing. But see, to say he's like one of the greatest to ever do it, like one of the greatest to ever do it's downright. Think of the guys, right, for previous eras that never quite got to the top, but are light years, like fucking light years better than Sami Zayn. Like I'm thinking of like an Owen Hart, for example, right? Owen Hart obviously tried to be past 99, right? But no one's ever going to consider Owen Hart as like one of the greatest, right? He's a couple of steps below, let's face it, but he is a million, and I mean a million times better than like a Sami Zayn, right? The same, I mean, obviously Jeff Jarrett became a world champion, but Jeff Jarrett, you know, your Rob Van Dam's, your Eddie Guerrero's, they're not the greatest. Like, they're not like in that top echelon, you know, like, oh, you're going to make a top 10 great level guy. Let's just face it, they're not, right? And I love most of them. Some of my favourites growing up. You know, Eddie dying, that was shit back in 2005. I can goddamn guarantee you as a kid watching it, right? But I'm not going to sit here in 2025 and pretend, oh man, he's like top 5. They're not. But Sami Zayn is like hundreds and thousands behind them. Let's face it. Anyway, he fucking sucks. Leave it there. Leave it down below.